Students, we are going to learn about the tabulation method, or the other name for the method we call it as Quine-McCluskey method. So why do we want to go for this third technique? So far we have learned the technique of Boolean simplification using the theorems and postulates. Second one we have derived using K-map. So as the number of variables are increasing more than 4 or 5, K-map cannot be used. So if it is a more than 5 variable, you cannot use a K-map. So we need to find out if more the variables are increasing, we need to find out the method. We go for this Quine method. We have to go for this Quine method. Thus the tabulation method overcomes the visualization difficulty. So in this tabulation method, we use the main variable to be called as implicand. It is a simplified expression obtained after adjacent combination of minterms or a set of minterms. Like you have a combination by adjacent ones, you do it in K-map. Here also we try to obtain an expression by combining the set of minterms or adjacent midterms. That word is called as implicand. There are two types of implicand, prime implicand and essential implicand. Prime implicand is the final expression which is not a subset of any other implicand in the table. Okay, there is no subset at all. So we call it as prime implicand. Essential implements, it includes a cell which is not incorporated in any other prime. So this is not present over here also. There are few procedures to be followed to obtain a prime implicand. The procedure I have given you in the theory format here. Now I'll explain by using an example. So how do we do this method? Okay, we have been given a Boolean function f is equal to sigma m 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15. Using both K-map and Quine method, you can verify this thing. So everything you can use both K-map. If the variables is less than 16 or less than 32, you can use K-map. If it is more than that, we cannot. So we use only one method. Since it's less than 16, so we can use a 4 variable map also to verify the output. Okay, so how to use this function? So first, once you get this, it is a minterm. Only minterms can be used in this Quine method. So how to do it? So the method starts with, the first step involved is going to be arranging your minterms in order, starting from lowest value to the highest value. First step. So the first column indicates the minterms are arranged in a value from lowest to the highest. Second column, second step is going to be the binary value to be returned for that particular minterm. So if it is minterm 1, write the binary value 001, 8, 100, 14, 110. So I have written all the binary expression for this minterm. After this, the step 3, the third column represents combine the one statements in one value. Next we move on to combination of 2 ones. Next we move on to the combination of 3 ones, like that, etc. So first is the combination of 1 only in this binary segment. So 1 to 8. 1 to 8 are only having 1 and we call this as one subset. Now we are going to move to the next 2 ones in the binary. 3, 9, 10. 3, 9, 10 are the 2 number of ones. So this is the second subset. Now we are going to move to the 3 number of ones. 7, 11, 14. 7, 11, 14. This is subset 3. Finally 15 is subset 4. So from the given binary expression of minterms, the third step includes finding out the subset. Each subset is going to be the representation of number of ones in it. Number of ones is 1, number of ones is 2 numbers, number of ones is 3 numbers, number of ones is 4 numbers. So you have divided the entire minterms according to the subsets. Okay. Now we are going to find the relationship between first subset and second subset. That is your next step. The next column is going to find out the relationship between the first subset and the next subset. Clarity. Move from one subset to the next subset, where we are going to compare the adjacent subset. Okay, first take this minterm M1. Okay, 0, 0, 1. 1 you combine with the next subset. Now you have this one, it is on the last value. So find out in your second subset how many ones are there in the last segment. So you have 3 and 9. 1 is lying on the least value itself, 3 and 9. So compare 1 with 3, compare 1 with 9. So you have value 1, okay, it is matched. You have value 1, it is matched. But in between, when you read the other inputs, this is 0, this is 1. Wherever you have an input change, you underline it with a dash segment. So now I am going to write down 1, 3, 0, 0, hyphen dash 1. So the changing value between the 1 and 3 is being represented as dash. Now come for 1, 9. You have 1, 1, 0, 0. First one is changed. Therefore, you have a hyphen in the first. Similarly, take now 2, 3. Like that, we have to compare. So 2. When you take 2, 3. See, 1 is here, 1 is here. So 2, 3 and 2, 10 will have a matching. 2, 3 and 2. Second position. Second position is 1. So the last bit is changing. Therefore, it is 0, 0, 1 hyphen. 0, 0, 1 hyphen. 2, 10. 2, 10 when you come on, the last is correct. This is correct. First bit is changing. Therefore, it is hyphen 0, 1, 0. Hyphen 0, 1, 0. 2, 10. So 2 is also over. Now you come to 8th bit. Minterm 8. The value is 1. So find out where the number of ones here, it is in first position. Therefore 8, 9 and 8, 10 you have to refer. 8, 9 you refer, the last bit is changing. Therefore the answer is 1, 0, 0 hyphen. When you compare with the 10, which bit is changing? Second bit position is changing. Therefore it is 1, 0 hyphen 0. So these two subsets are over. Now you move on to the next two subsets. Next two adjacent subsets are going to be repeated the same procedure, and we are going to find out the dash elements. So now here you take again 1, 1. M3 is 1, 1. So M3, 1, 1 is M7 you can compare, M11 you can compare. Therefore 3, 7, 3, 11. Which all position is changing? Third bit is changing. In 3, 11, first bit is changing. Okay. Again 9 is 1 and 1. So which segment? 11 is having 9, 11. Only 1 is having the same. So 9, 1, 0, 1. Here the second bit is changing. Okay. Next 10 you take 1, 0, 1, 0. How many bits are changing here? 1, 0, 1, 0. 10, 11, 10, 14. So in 10, 10 and 10, 11, the last bit is changing. Therefore 1, 0, 1 hyphen. 10, 14, third bit is changing. Therefore 1 hyphen 1, 0. 1 hyphen 1, 0. So now you move on to the third procedure step in the fourth column. It is a comparison between subset 3 and subset 4. Okay, in subset 3, what else you have? 3 ones. Therefore, you compare 7, 15. 7, 15 you compare. Last 3 1 are there. Only the first bit, the fourth bit is changing. Therefore, fourth bit is taken as hyphen. Again, you compare 11. 11, you compare 1. The second bit is changing. So, 11, 15, second bit is hyphen. Sorry, third bit is hyphen. 14, 15, last bit is hyphen. Last bit is hyphen. So we have to start from subset 1, compare subset 1 to subset 2, subset 2 to subset 3, subset 3 to subset 4. So how many subsets you have? Adjacently you have to compare and make a dash element. Okay. So this is being done. Once you have completed this column, all the elements, we call it as the implicates. These are all the implicates. Now we need to find out, there are two types of implicates, prime implicant and essential implicant. prime implicant plays a vital role in denoting the final expression. So we have to find out which all are the prime implicant in this available format. So now for finding out the prime implicant, you need to compare, okay, the dashes. So you take the first element 1 comma 3, the dash is in the second position. Now you compare, now this is one subset, this is the second subset, this is third subset. Now you find out the position of this dash available in any other subset. So once I take this dash, okay, come to here, there you have this element 9 comma 11. Okay, only one place you have the dash to be common. So once I take 1 comma 3 and 9 comma 11, so what will happen is you have to compare this 1 constant, hyphen, okay, it's fine there, 0 is there, but 0 1 is again changing. So you are going to go again to choose a prime implicant. This is a changeable parameter. Put a dash. You are moving again to the next column by these two subset comparison. So it is dash 0 dash 1. Dash 0 dash 1. What are the elements? 1 comma 3, 9 comma 11. Okay. So you have reduced here. Now again take the second one. 1 is over, 3 is over. 1 comma 9 already it is here. So that is also over. Then you have 2 comma 3. Okay, 2 comma 3. Last bit is the position. Now again find out any one is there in the last bit. There you have 10 comma 11. Okay, hyphen is there in the last. Dasher is there in the last. So take now 2 comma 3 and 10 comma 11. Write down 2 comma 3, 10 comma 11. The dash is at the final. 1 and 1 are there. 0 and 0 are there. Then you have first bit, the last, fourth bit is changing. 0 and 1 is changing. Therefore it is dash. Therefore the answer is dash 0 1 dash. Dash 0 1 dash. So 2 comma 3 and 10 comma 11 is over. Okay, 2 comma 3, 10 comma 11 is over, 2 comma 10 is also over. See, this is already here. So that is also over. Okay, and similarly 10 comma 11 is over means 3 comma 11 is also over. So you are reducing your implicants now. It is all clubbed together. This is clubbed, this is clubbed, this is clubbed, this is clubbed. Now you come for the next variable. Again the dash is at the last. Now you compare the subset which is at the dash. Dash is here, dash is here. Both you are going to take. Okay, so 8 comma 9 and 10 comma 11. Okay, compare it. Compare the statement. The second bit is changing. Therefore the answer is 1 0 dash dash. 1 0 dash dash. The elements are 8 9 10 11. So 8 9 10 is over, 10 11 is over. You have written here. So subset 1 and 2 is again compared. Now you are moving from subset 2 to subset 3. So again start from here. Third bit is dash. Check whether the third bit, there, here it comes. So 3 comma 7 11 comma 15. 3 comma 7 11 comma 15. So what are the values? 0 and 1 is changed. Therefore dash dash 1 1. Okay, and similarly 3 comma 7 11 comma 15 is over. So 7 comma 15 is also indirectly got into it. Now you have which element? This is all over. Now you have 10 comma 11. Compare 10 comma 11. 10 comma 11 to 10 11 comma 14 comma 15. So compare these two. It is dash is there. Now compare the elements. The third bit is changing. Therefore 1 hyphen 1 hyphen 1 hyphen 1 hyphen. So you have reduced the subset again to the minimum value, and this is the minimized expression which has been called as the prime implicant. After you do it, write down the variable a, b, c, d. Now wherever you have, see, this is b bar, this is d. So wherever you have 0 and 1, accordingly you write the implicant. B bar d, b bar c, a b bar, c d, a c. So these are the prime implicant. final answer, and this is the reduced expression for this midterm. Okay. Now you can convert this into a table. We call it as a prime implicant table. So how to write down the prime implicant table is write down the this implicants, prime implicants, whatever we have arrived at the final column. Write down the values here. The same values are rewritten. You write down the columns of all the minterms, M1 to M50. Okay, write down all the minterm columns. Now you find out wherever you have this minterm, put first cross mark. Okay, put only cross mark first. So M1, M3, M9, M11 I have crossed. Next is 2, 3, 10, 11 I crossed. Next is 8, 9, 10, 11 cross. 3, 7, 11, 15 cross. 10, 11, 14, 15 is crossed. After you do this one, check each column. Okay, check each minterm column. If only one cross is there, you encircle that cross. See here it's only one. In this column only one circle. 1 into mark. Here you got lot, leave it. Only one. Here you have to leave it. More, leave it. 14, that's all. Wherever you have the encircles, it's the final implicant value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'll have 5 equations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So M1, 3. Now you find out this is a prime implicant. Okay, this encircle is a 1, 3, 11. What is the answer? B bar D. Next M2, 2, 3, 10, 11. What is the answer? B bar C. Next M7, 3, 7, 11, 15. 3, 7, 11, 15. What is the answer? C, D. Next is 8, 9, 10, 11. Answer is A, B bar. Okay. 10, 11, 14, 15. 14 is the prime implicant. So 14 AC. So wherever you have this encircle of your cross mark, that is your prime implicant, that shows that particular implicant is the very much needed values for the expression, which is the minimized value for the minterm given as a Boolean function. So this is how we do the tabulation method or McCain-Queensey method, which helps us in reducing the number of variables of higher value segments. Thank you.